Hi, and welcome. I'm Trixie Overcashier, and I'm going to take a little bit of time with you today to talk about essential oils. So the one that I'm going to talk about today is called Bergamot, and I am representing the brand called Pure. So I can only speak for this particular brand, and it comes from Italy. It's cold pressed extraction, and it's a citrus. It comes from a fruit oil, and it sells for $19 to their members. So that is awesome. That's a great price. So let's talk about how to use this oil and why you would want it. You're going to only hear me talk about two ways to use oils, and that is through aromatherapy by getting a diffuser and breathing it in. And the other way is through application. So putting it on your skin, on the bottoms of your feet, on the back of your neck, in certain areas of your body. And many a times you'll need a carrier oil. So those are some things to look out for. You will not ever hear me telling you to ingest oils, and be very careful if you have someone who is not a certified aromatherapist and telling you to do that. So hopefully you've caught a couple of my other videos on the different oils. I am learning so much. It's just so fun. So this particular oil, the bergamot, is what we're talking about. And I'm going to give you 11 points today. So you're going to have to listen kind of quickly, and hopefully you'll take some notes because there's a lot of information to take in here. But I guarantee you, this is definitely an oil you are going to want to have. Number one, it is an antidepressant and stimulant. So the components of the bergamot oil create feelings of freshness, joy, and energy in cases of sadness and depression by improving the circulation of blood. So they also stimulate hormonal secretions, thereby helping to maintain proper metabolic rates. This stimulating also affects increasing of secretion of your digestive juices. So that's going to help in aiding digestion, proper absorption of your nutrients, and it's going to help of the decomposition of the sugar, and then resulting in lowering the blood sugar. That's all very, very important. Now, the hormonal impact is part of the reason why it's so powerful on the neurological and the mental conditions. Number two, it's an antibiotic and a disinfectant. And some of the components of it helps to inhibit growth of germs, virus, and fungi. They also effectively prohibit infections, including those of the skin. Listen to this. It's been reported to heal infections of the colon, intestines, urinary tract, and kidneys. Pretty powerful. All right, number three, it's an analgesic. And that just simply means it's a pain reducer. So it actually is stimulating the secretion of certain hormones, which lessens the sensitivity of the nerves when you're in pain. So it's helpful for headaches, sprains, muscle aches, or any other symptoms or ailments that require heavy dosages of analgesic pills. So things like acetaminophen, ibuprofen, other painkillers, and certainly the prescription painkillers. So just know this, that this is something that perhaps can, keep you away from those types of treatments, because those medicines have an adverse effect and side effects that can damage your liver and your kidneys. And when they're, heavily relied on, they can start thinning your blood and causing you to lose sleep. So this is, again, just a natural route for you to be taking for your health. Number four, it's a relaxant and a sedative. So the flavonoids that are present in this particular oil soothe your nerves and reduce nervous tension, anxiety, stress, all of which help treat ailments associated with stress and sleeplessness. Things like high blood pressure, insomnia, and depression. Number five, now I've already kind of alluded to this about your digestive system. So it does help with the secretion of the digestive acids, the enzymes, and the bile, and it facilitates the digestion. But it also synchronizes and regulates what is called the peristaltic motion of the intestines. And in this way, it quickens the digestive process and reduces strain to the intestinal tracts. So it's going to help to reduce constipation. It's going to help to make your bowel movements more regular, which is important, and help to prevent the gastrointestinal complications and things like that happen with colon or rectal cancer. So other uncomfortable and dangerous conditions and things like that. Now this one is tricky. Number six, is called Citrascent. Let me spell that for you. It's Cicatrisant, and you pronounce it Citrascent. This property is the reason behind the use of it in extensive cosmetics, which I thought was pretty interesting because the agent, now this is my favorite part, the agent that's in there, the property that's in there, helps with scars and other marks on the skin to disappear. Now this is really exciting for me because if you saw my frankincense oil whole thing where I went in and I removed this sunspot that I had on my face over here, that's gone completely. But, I want to kind of flush over my skin. I want to make sure that it's blending in well. And so I'm going to try using this oil really all over my face. It also makes the distribution of pigments and the melanin even and uniform, resulting in the fading away of marks and give you an even and attractive skin tone. This essential oil is commonly used to eliminate unsightly effects of acne, and it's also helped to relieve noticeable scars and marks that have affected people for many years. So this is an area where you can just test it for yourself. If you have a scar, if you have something that, kind of has bugged you, so start treating it. And you can use this oil. They ask you to use it with a carrier oil. So I think I would start that way. So with a coconut or an almond oil, one of those oils works out great for carrier oil. The seventh thing is that it's a deodorant. This is kind of popular with the teens, I guess, or the younger generation, because they're always trying all the different new deodorants on the market, and they're desperately searching for something that gives them a real refreshing and natural fragrance. So this is an excellent deodorant for that reason. It's refreshing, and the aroma, it also inhibits the growth of germs that are causing body odor. So it does kind of a dual thing there. And it's used in room fresheners and sprays as well because of that fragrance. You'll notice that. So now the next one is that it helps reduce fever and lowers body temperature. So we are on number 8 if you are taking notes. And the reason for this is it's an antibiotic. It fights infections that arise from viruses, bacteria, including influenza, which is a virus, malaria, which is a protozoa, and typhoid, which is a typhus bacteria. Secondly, it stimulates the metabolic system and the gland secretions. This is providing a feeling of warmth and resulting in additional secretion from your sweat glands, your sebum glands, and it reduces the body temperature. The next thing is kind of gross. Number 9, it kills worms. Yeah, that's gross. I know. It's got a subtle and fragrant choice for children who have contracted worms. So it can be applied on unhealthy infected teeth or used in a mouthwash to kill oral germs and protect your teeth from developmental cavities. So just swishing with it. So not drinking it, but swishing with it can be very helpful for that. Number 10 is it's anti-spasmodic. Okay, that's right. It relaxes your nerves and relieves muscle tension. So therefore, it gives a really quick relief to cramps, convulsions, and painful muscle contractions. That might be something that we could offer to women going into labor, I think, too, especially if it's back labor. So number 11 is it's a natural antiseptic, and it also helps for promoting fast healing of wounds. So this is going to help on cracks for the skin and heels, ulcers, eczema, itching, and it also protects wounds from becoming septic and developing any type of deadly tetanus. It not only treats and heals and affects the other infections, but it inhibits the formation of new infections. So those are 11 things. They do have some other benefits listed on here, such as using it in a vaporizer or using it in your diffuser would relieve congestion and respiratory problems, particularly during coughs and colds. So they do give a few words of caution I want to mention on this particular oil. You want to make sure you keep it completely out of sunlight. So if you'll notice, the bottles do come in a brown bottle, which is good because that's how they should be stored, but then also store it out of the sunlight, even if it's coming in like to your house or whatever. So I would just keep it in kind of a dark place. And let me tell you the reason for that so that you understand how important this is. One of the components that is in this particular oil can become poisonous if it's exposed to sunlight. So even after you've used it, I would not be exposing it to the sunlight at that point. So at least for until it absorbs. And when you do use a carrier oil, it tends to help not to dissipate into the air as quick. So, use it with a carrier oil, and then it'll also take the time that it needs to absorb into wherever you're absorbing into. So ongoing studies have shown that the application of this particular oil has been helpful in eliminating the formation of gallstones and protect against colic, halitosis, bronchitis, and diphtheria. So there you go. Blending the oils. Now you can it will blend with any of the citrus oils. So that works out really well because they're like, but there's a couple of other suggestions here. Things like the frankincense, jasmine, geranium, sandalwood, orange, rosemary, and the ylang-ylang. So those are just a few tips for I'm going to get this oil. And the thing is, at 19 bucks, I always watch for the oil, and I always buy the oil that is on the special for the oil of the month. So make sure you always check that out. You can save a little bit of extra. So I'm going to help continue to educate you on these oils. We'll learn together. It's been very exciting. I'm loving using them on myself and, my friends and family who are lucky enough to be in reach of me so that I can say, oh, let's just put a little oil on that. Having a lot of fun with it. So thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next time.